Welcome back, everybody. Today, I'm going to talk about my video where I said English investing is dead, because if you actually watch the whole entire video, you'll find out that I was just pretty much messing with a bunch of people. So I wanted to see candidly what your thoughts and opinions were about investing in Weiss Schwarz. And I got some really awesome comments. There were some comments that were a little interesting as well. I'm not going to bring those up. You can read them in the comments of that last video. But for my channel members, what I did, I made a video afterwards with a thumbnail that looked like this. It said yes, right? I'm still a yes on all of this. And the reason for this, I'm going to talk about in this video. So what you're going to see here is the same exact screens that I had before. I did not update it from the last time I did it. What I want to do is just tell you about my thought process. So again, what I believe investing in anything, when it comes to stocks, when it comes to cars, when it comes to coins, purses, wallets, whatever you want to do, you can invest in anything. But what you want to do, for me anyways, is investing is all about making educated guesses at what the stuff I'm going to buy, where I want to get in price point wise, where I think it's eventually going to be headed, how long that I am going to be holding on to this, and my exit strategy for that. That is really the key to investing, knowing all of that. It's not really just going, I'm going to buy this and hope and pray and just magic happens and now it's going to be worth way more than what it was. I don't believe in that at all. I think you have to have some sort of goal checkpoints, and if it's not making it there, you have to rethink about your investments at that point. So first thing I want to talk about are the IPs of 2023. Now, when you take a look at all of this, there are a heavy amount of IPs that are not so good inside of the front half of 2023. So if you take a look at Kayuga Love is War, I know IP wise it's great, but at the same time you have to think about what's inside of the box. I think they did a humongous disservice to Kayuga Love is War with the band outfits. I'm going to go into more of that on specific videos, but I think about the IPs like Kayuga Love is War. I think about Haruhi. I think about Kill la Kill, which I know people love, but at the same time is fairly old. Same thing with Log Horizon, Date A Live 2, Date A Live 3, Girls Band Party. We also have Sword Art Online 10th Anniversary, which is a big IP, but was that enough to actually take back what happened in the beginning half? I don't think so. We have Saekano. We have Fruit of Grisaya. Quint's movie, actually, and that was a pretty good one, but there's reasons why that one's a little lower. Then you have Avatar, which did very well, sold many boxes. And then we also have Revue Starlight Re live, That Time I Got Reincarnated, Slime, and lastly we have the release of Hololive 2, which if you haven't checked, the booster boxes are above $60, so it's doing fairly well, especially with all the amounts that have been sold at this point. When you take a look at the last half of the year, which includes Hololive 2, you have Nazarick Set 2, you have we're not going to talk about Revue Starlight the movie, Azure Lane, which is going to be phenomenal. You also have Arifureta, Guilty Gear, Spy Family. We'll see how that turns out. That's in 2024. Chainsaw Man, Lycoris, Recoil. And Chainsaw Man actually did get a date as well. So if I think about the different IPs, which would you rather buy into? The early half of 2023 or the last half of 2023? I'm going to put my money on the last half of 2023. Now, when I think about pre-ordering before or after release, right? What you want to do here is this. So when I talked about buying or investing, I don't always talk about when I actually buy it. I definitely don't tell you how much I'm going to buy. And the reason specifically is, again, I want to keep myself anonymous. I don't want anybody knowing what I'm doing, but I at least give you my thoughts on how much I want to purchase. So when you take a look at this stuff, I had on here the base prices, $980 for a booster box case. Now, if you take a look at the booster box case for Kayuga Love is War, again, these are old prices. It could be the same. It could be $1,000. It could be $700 at this point. But when you take a look at this, at $980, you're definitely losing. But how about a person that waits? You know that the release isn't going to be good. You take a look at the JP side, not doing so well. And then you think about it yourself. It's like at 980, this case is not worth actually buying. But let's say if this thing ever hits 750, $700, is that a good price to buy it? Again, now you're thinking with the investment side, right? I'm going to buy something that I think is worth buying at a certain price point. You don't have to buy it at 980. No one's forcing you to do that. You can always wait for someone else to buy it, and if they don't want it anymore, you can buy in and get it at that sweet, sweet price, knowing that potentially it's going to go up at some point. And again, your whole exit strategy needs to be laid out. At the same time, I'm talking about that situation where a person can't buy from a distributor. But when you take a look at this price, this $900, when you think about the seller, are they actually purchasing this case at $900? The answer is some definitely are, but there are some that definitely are not. They probably can get it for lower. There's times where distributors are trying to get rid of stuff and they have it at a lower price. You can pick it up at a lower price. So are they losing money? It really is on your perspective. A lot of investing is figuring out where you want to enter, and if it's too high, you just pass on it, right? You don't have to buy everything in your way. That's why I always try to talk about stocks. When you buy a stock, when you want to get in a stock, you think Apple is going to, let's say, $300, but if it's at 290, do you really want to buy it to potentially make it to 300? No, you probably want to buy it if it was like 250, 200, right? That makes sense. You think in the future it's going to hit 300, that's worth buying. But at 290 to 300, it's a little risky because you're not going to make as much on it. So same thing here. At 984 a case, I tell you again, if you think about Kaguya Love is War, if you think about Revue Starlight, do you want to buy that at $980? For me, the answer is no. I would never buy those at $980. I'm definitely going to wait for the price to come down. And you know what? If it doesn't, whatever. I got other stuff to buy. I could put it in a CD. I could put it in a savings account. I could buy some stock. I could buy whatever I want. Or I could just, you know what, go hang out with the family, go take them out for a nice dinner. Now, when you think about the booster boxes, this is always the interesting part. What you see here with the booster boxes is $44.96. And I made a point of it is you cannot tell if these are dead boxes. This could just be somebody that bought these and they really just need to get rid of it because you know what? They got credit card bills. There's some hot other product coming out and they need to make need to get money to pre-order that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Again, you don't really know. You definitely have to check out where that source of that product is coming from. Take a look if they have a website, if they have a store that you can visit, if see what singles they're actually selling. You need to do all that due diligence. And the reason why I'm saying this is because take a look at this. Again, cases, when you take a look at the prices, even though the booster box price is lowered, when you take a look at the case price, on the stuff up, right? Data Live 2. We have Girls Band Party, 5th anniversary. That thing is up. Take a look at these case prices. They hold the value again because there is some trust with a case versus actually booster box. I do say that and laugh because if you haven't seen what's been happening with Hololive 2, you can't trust those guaranteed, not guaranteed rates because people are definitely getting shortchanged on it. And that is definitely unfortunate, more than likely a production issue versus anything else. And that's again why Bushiroad doesn't guarantee any of the rates. You can't find case rates anywhere. They don't exist. So having these cases definitely give you some sort of advantage. I will say though, it is way easier to sell a booster box than a case. And that should make sense to everybody as well, because if you are on a budget, you can only afford 3 boxes. Someone wrote that in the comments to me just recently. And, you know, again, I applaud you for doing that, right? You don't have all the money in the world. You want to buy 3 booster boxes. That's the money you have. You don't kill your budget by buying an entire case. It's definitely respectable. So the big thing here is reputation. Your reputation truly matters in all of this, right? Like, or you could show a picture of you have the case that's completely sealed and all that good stuff. But it's way easier to sell a booster box if you're a trusted source, if people know that you've been around for a while, if they could actually see you open the case, that'd be great because not everybody can fork over $1,000. That's the biggest complaint with all these cases. So just make sure to take a look at ways to actually increase your trust level with people. That's one way to do it. Okay, so booster boxes, I think I still like booster boxes no matter what. And if I ever do buy it loose, I make sure to do as much due diligence as possible. It's definitely unfortunate the way things are out there, but at the same time, I don't expect the seller to take a loss either. It's not very fair on their side to just be uh, juicing out money because of dead boxes and all that stuff. It's not fair at all. And at some point, these boxes shouldn't even be open, right? If a booster box is $200, just assume it's dead. It's a collector's item. Put it on a shelf, display that thing, and call it a day. If you want to open it one day just because, don't expect much from it. I think that's great where it's actually at. Just in your mind, it's all good. Okay. So, lastly, what I want to say with all of this is no matter what happens, investing is always better if you actually like this stuff. I mean, there's always going to be where you have IPs that are super strong, right? You have some really good ones like Quints, you like the Sword Art Online, like Hololive, like Avatar. That's going to be very good, but in the short term, the prices on them look kind of not so great. And the reason, again, is just because the amount of supply that's out there. But in the end, long-term investing is all about long-term. Obviously, the supply is going to dwindle down. Just think about Sneaker Bunko. That's that sucker, right? No matter how many reprints there are, just because of the cards inside of it, it's going to have some sort of value. Same thing with Fujimi. Same thing with a lot of other sets. Eventually, the supply gets dwindled down, and you're going to be in a happy state. So there's going to be a lot of IPs coming up, and there's going to be a lot of supply of this stuff. But over time, it should be okay. So investing is great. But like I said, if card investing is not for you, it's not for you, and it's okay. I think there's opportunity to be had everywhere. I don't think you should knock people for it. I think you should just come into it with an open mind, because that's what's going to happen in the world, right? People are going to either play the cards, they're going to collect the cards, or they're going to invest in the cards and sell it later on. But no matter what, I think everybody gets some sort of enjoyment in any one of those actual scenarios. So just enjoy and live your life and have a lot of fun. You know what? If they don't like playing it and you like playing it, you're gonna say they're missing out and just move on. Who cares, really? Right? If people want to collect and just stare at it in plastic, then you know what? Enjoy it. At the same time, if someone invests in it, you know the best part about that is when, like that person that can only buy 3 booster boxes, when they can afford it in the future, when they get that awesome job, they got that nice house, and they got the car, you know what? They could go, you know what? I got money now. Let me go back and buy that booster box I've always wanted, or that trial deck I've always wanted. And it's nice to have somebody that can actually supply that in the future. So, as always, if you need me, here you go. There you go. Here's my email, Twitter, TCG player, blah, blah, blah. It's all in the descriptions. If you're a new channel member, let me know and I can send you a link to the Discord. But as always, have fun, be happy, don't spend anything outside your budget. Have a good one.